So Amanda Eckart, you're such a beautiful name. It's a movie star name, and I feel it is. It just
Thank you.
rolls off the tongue. I'm looking at your website. Absolutely spectacular. Such a
We're
really
proud of it.
cool feeling.
We put a lot of work into it. We have a fantastic blog on our site that we create, posts for on a regular basis, and we talk a lot about the community on our website.
Absolutely.
And share it out there. And we create a lot of that original content ourselves. We don't just buy it from somewhere
And it shows. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, there's a couple of businesses that have to be local, and we're going to talk to a restaurateur later. You've got to be local. It's all about local food, and real estate has really gotten that way too. I almost think it's almost
It is.
opposite of what it was in the 80s, when Coldwell Banker was making a name for itself, this, that, and the other thing.
The internet changed things a lot.
Right.
It's very much niche marketing now, community-based, and being able to really have a relationship with your customers,
with your
and
clients, customers, and buyers.
Absolutely.
What's been we're in Port Jefferson, 11777. Let's get real local now. Although we've talked about a few different cities and states with you.
Yes, I'm not originally from Port Jefferson, although I've been here since 2003, but I'm a transplant. I know we have a lot of people that are Port Jefferson through and through. My husband is one of them.
Yep.
He grew up here. He graduated from Port Jefferson. Both his parents did. His grandmother did. I mean, we're talking like going way back. He's
homegrown.
He's actually a Jones, which is one of the shipbuilder descendants.
Very cool.
But then, I know now we have a lot of people coming in from all over the country and other countries. Stony Brook University is bringing a lot of people in. So I'm actually a transplant myself.
And you said originally you were born in
Alabama.
Very cool.
So yes, my sister is still and my parents are still in the South.
So tell me the truth. You come here, it must have been a little bit of a shock, right? The culture here is a little bit of a shock, right? Whatever it may be.
Yeah.
A little more aggressive, a lot of bagels. I mean, tell me what stood out to you immediately?
Well, I'll tell you, the first thing that stood out to me immediately was Port Jefferson Village itself, because I met my husband, we were living in Breckenridge, Colorado, and that's actually where I started real estate, was in Breckenridge. And I was also a former ballet dancer. So in the summers, I would go to New York City, spend the summers dancing at Lincoln Center, and
Wow.
then it was an amazing experience. And there would be families that would sponsor us on the weekends, and we would get to take a weekend trip out to Connecticut and eat Ben & Jerry's ice cream and hoagies and swim in the pool.
And this was your New England kind of thing from the West. You were coming to New England, so that's a difference.
Yeah, that was the kind of experience that I had. So when Dan took me to Port Jefferson for the first time and walking down Main Street, seeing the water, I mean, it just had that same feel. It was so close to being to the city. It was kind of where I always dreamed of ending up, having that cultural mix and yet being in this really small New England feeling town.
So glad you got your dream. That's not a lot of people can't say that.
Yeah.
So you're attracted to this village, and you plant yourself. And did you have kids in 2003?
Nope.
Okay.
We were just engaged,
Yep.
and we knew that we were then looking for the place that we were going to settle down, and this was the place to do it.
Awesome.
So, he growing up here knew a lot about what it's like being a kid, and even living in the mountains in Colorado, there was a little lake there, and we never went out on it, but he would always say, "I'm going to take you sailing on Lake Dillon." I'm like, you can't know how to sail. Like, who knows how to sail? Nobody knows how to sail.
No.
I didn't know anybody
No,
that knew
it's
how
got
to
to be like
sail.
third generation.
Yeah. So, but now I see, and the fact that we have sailing lessons right behind us
And the
going
regatta.
on in Setauket Harbor, and it's just, it was a wonderful way to grow up.
What does your husband do?
He's a contractor. He has a small home improvement business.
Very awesome.
Yeah.
So you literally transplant here. You start doing real estate right away?
I did. So, we were engaged, and we were, starting our life out here. And I went back to Stony Brook University, finished my degree in economics, which helps obviously with the real estate and analyzing supply and demand and absorption rates and numbers and all of those things that we do.
Absolutely.
And I started working at a real estate office part-time while I was doing that, and it's really stuck.
So today, the Celebrate Your Home brand, is Keller Williams, right? To explain
is.
that.
Well,
That's a
really
national brand, right?
It's an international brand, actually. Believe it or not, it's the largest real estate company in the world at this time. It started off in Texas. Gary Keller started this real estate company, and it has just grown since the 80s into the biggest real estate company. So we are relatively new to Long Island, but have offices in all 50 states, Spain, Israel, China, all over the world, England. And
What were some of the reasons you chose that brand, by the way?
well, so number one,
And I've only heard good things about it. I remember I was actually in real estate back in the day, and we heard about Keller in Jersey,
yes,
right?
yes,
Huge.
huge,
And they
in
always
New
seem like a
Jersey.
quality brand to me.
It is. It's number one, it's a company that really stands behind their real estate agent. They understand that the agents are the ones that have the relationships with the clients, and they're there to support them, but not stand in front of them.
Right.
So it's a wonderful support system. They have an amazing culture. The culture is really about doing the right thing, and it shows between agents within the office and with customers.
Right.
And
far and above what maybe the typical sort of outlook is. You know, sometimes real estate agents get a bad rap in some regards, so they're far and above that.
It's nice to be constantly reminded
Right.
of, that everyone shares the same values and shares the same beliefs,
Right.
and it is a great just system to also make relationships with other real estate agents in other areas, because people are constantly moving in and out of places. So when you're connected with another Keller Williams agent in another state that you might not have ever met before,
Right.
that they're receiving the same message, and everyone believes the same things.
Right. True core values being
True
the
core
same.
values, absolutely.
Now you do a lot of local, going back to that local flavor, you are constantly updating the community on some things. I saw you did a wonderful thing here for Dickens right in this very room.
Yeah.
Right, and you constantly are out there not only to give great information, but stand behind your brand and what you do and let people know. Although I know, I understand that's not like at the forefront of what you're doing, but you're out there.
Yes.
And that's the key to it. So last 5 years, what have you done in real estate regarding content? How have things changed in your local content? What's your view on that?
Well, one of the things that I've always really been involved with in Port Jefferson is, and it also does stem from my background, the economic development aspect of it. So, understanding that one of the things that makes Port Jefferson a unique draw to people, to young families, to people coming in from other areas, is that we have a downtown walkable village.
Yes.
And not very many people can say that anymore. We live in an area where in a lot of cities it's sprawling. You get these
Yes.
suburbs, you get this urban sprawl. Yeah, there's lots of building going on, but you don't necessarily have a place that you can walk out your door, get a cup of coffee.
We're in a little bowl,
Yes.
and it's 180, really 180 degrees, because the other 180 degrees is water. It's very unique, you're right.
It is. So, recognizing that, and the challenges also that come along with that for business owners to attract people to their businesses.
Yes.
So I was on economic development with Margot, and she created a committee for a few years, started the farmers market actually in
Right
town.
outside our window now.
Yeah. And so that's always been a passion of mine, and understanding that draw will continue to be one of the things that brings people to Port Jefferson that you just are not going to find anywhere
And keeps
else.
values up.
And keeps values up, absolutely. So in supporting that, we do the calendar of events every month, and we do curate that ourselves and just pick out what's really going on and what looks cool. What do we want to check out? I mean, of course, we don't always have the time to go to everything. I'd love to,
Yep.
but if I could, this is what I'd love to be doing today, or this really looks interesting. So, we do that just as a courtesy to
Absolutely.
the businesses around and to the residents in town, just to remind everybody all the resources that we have here and all the great things to take advantage of. So, that's one of the things. And then also we do try to highlight when a new business opens up or there's an event going on, and doing videos, spreading the word, just helping to carry that message.
Yeah, which is great. That's
Yeah.
absolutely great. Specifically in real estate, tell us about some of the listings that you might have now so people get an idea, the value of Port Jefferson, the uniqueness of homes.
Sure.
Is there one that you may want to
Sure. Well,
point out?
first of all, in general right now, the inventory of homes in Port Jefferson is quite low.
What is it about?
41 homes
That's
on
amazing.
the market, and that's in all of the 11777 zip code.
Okay.
So that's taking into consideration Belterre listings, a couple that might be on the border
That's
of
amazingly low.
It is. It is. So as low as that is, it's actually, there were 41 homes that went in contract in the last 6 months. So we're in a balanced market.
Good.
Perfectly healthy, wonderful, balanced real estate market, which is a great place to be. So right now we have a couple great listings. One is in Belterre, it's on Upper Devon, and it's a home that is really, it's been expanded from a classic colonial style, so it has an amazing open concept kitchen, which is a really difficult thing to find and so many people are looking for.
Right.
You watch HGTV, you get all these great ideas, but because we live in an older area where there isn't new
You don't see it that
construction,
much.
we don't see it that much. So unless someone has gone in and modified the original home that was built in the 60s or 70s, it can be a unique thing to find. So this home has that. They took down some walls, they opened up, it's got a huge center island, you can just gather everybody around for dinner or for a cocktail.
Awesome.
The fireplace is right there, and then of course it's very private because you're in Belterre, so you've got the bird sanctuary around you and all the trees, plenty of room
Any
for
deer?
a pool. Definitely.
We won't get into that.
Definitely, you will find a few deer nearby.
Oh,
so
that's
if you're
good.
a nature lover, it's perfect. Golf course across the street. It's really it's a superb.
How many
property.
bedrooms?
It's 4 bedrooms. 2 master suites, which is also one of the unique things about it. So when they did this addition, they made an enormous master suite with a second fireplace, big walk-in closet that has the dressing table in
Wow.
the middle of it, just like you would see,
It's a
on.
perfect listing. Now, so this listing is 869?
That's correct.
So now we're talking about values, right? Now we're in obviously a zip code that commands 869, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
Depending on who you are, but I mean, the idea is this zip code commands more money, keeps values up, and that's good for everybody, right? Because you're getting a good quality client, right?
That is true. We are fortunate that we're surrounded by 3 hospitals. We've
Right.
got Brookhaven Lab. We've got Stony Brook University. Keeping the economy
Yeah.
thriving. Of course, Renaissance Technologies. We can't
That's unbelievable.
discount
Yep.
having Jim Simons in the area that is bringing us beautiful parks and has chosen our
Right.
community to keep giving back to as
So
well.
all part of the amenities besides the home itself, besides the area, everything we just talked about that you know so well because of the economics background. So you probably do very well because you seem extremely versed in what you do and professional.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I'm very proud of my team. We have
How big is your team and where's your office?
Sure. So we're right at the Port Jeff Station border. We're actually going to be moving in the very near future. So our office is myself, Beth Haiti, who is a phenomenal backbone to our team. She's so positive and she just brings a wonderful perspective to everything that we do. Donna McEwen, who's been with me as an agent for several years now. Mike
know Donna.
Ambrosi.
Yeah, excellent.
Both Port Jefferson residents as well. Both have kids also in the school district. Adina Merceri, we just brought aboard, and she's a Rocky Point resident, so she's going to be able to focus on bringing some more to that community. We're really excited about the Stop and Shop that's opening
Yes.
up. You'll see not
Shop
Stop
Right.
Shop Right. ShopRite opening up. You're going to see all our faces there when you
Oh, very
walk
cool.
in, and just that whole center that's going in there is going to have everything
It's
that
going to be
we
amazing.
need. It's
yeah.
going to be amazing.
About time. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. So we're
Do you
really excited
are you
about
at liberty
that.
to tell us where your new office will be yet?
Um,
Not just yet.
next week.
Okay.
Next
All right,
week.
we'll have you on again.
But it's going to be really exciting. It's going to be a beautiful space.
You're going to have an opening?
We're going to have an opening.
And,
we'll
we
definitely
can cover
invite
it?
you. You can cover it. We'll be really excited.
Little
to
vino,
show it
maybe?
off. A little vino, a little live music, little hors d'oeuvres.
Very
Come and
nice.
join us.
Well, I'd like to offer you one of these cookies. One of our next guests Look at these. Look how beautiful they are.
Thank
I don't know if you'll
you.
eat it or not right now, but you
Oh,
can have it.
I will, definitely.
All
I
right.
never
So
turn down a
here's to
cookie.
Coffee Talk. Thanks
All
for
right.
coming. These
Thanks.
were provided by Marie Mordino.
Thanks.
Thanks, Marie.